I think this is an industry that you constantly have to learn. You constantly have to evolve. You constantly have to be doing the next best thing.
I'm Camille Arnold, and this is Checked In. Ever wondered what it's really like to walk into Cvent CONNECT for the first time? This episode is your all-access pass. We'll take you inside the buzz of the sessions, the tech and product tours, and those unplanned networking moments where the best connections happen. You'll also hear the biggest takeaways shaping the future of events, from the rise of event-led growth to game-changing innovations like Cvent IQ. And who better to spill the inside scoop than Cvent's very own Haley Kaplan, Piep, and Hayley Pellizzon. Buckle up, friends. Let's get checked in.
Hi, Perry and Haley. Thank you so much for joining me. Everyone, welcome to Checked In with Splash. And it is our very first time being here at Connect. And it is so fun to now be a part of the Cvent family. And as Splash folks coming in here and getting to experience it live, we have had a full conference experience so far. We're kind of making this little session a little marketer unplugged. And we are taking a second to kind of chat through some of our big takeaways and thoughts of being first timers here at Connect and what we can share with the marketing community about what we've seen going on and hearing from other marketers that are here on site. And so before we dive in, I'm just going to let everyone introduce themselves. I'll start. I'm Haley. I am on the experiential marketing team. I'm joined by Perry and Haley. So I'll let you guys quickly introduce yourself and then we'll dive right in. So Perry, if you want to go first.
Sure. Perry Piep, part of the product marketing team at Splash and now Cvent. Excited to start marketing a lot of great Cvent products. And just shout out to our teammates that we left on the floor to do all the cleanup while we came up here to podcast.
I know. I'm Hayley Pellizzon, a product marketing manager. Same thing, Splash, but then also incorporating some new Cvent products I'm really excited about. And yes, first Connect.
And first time on our podcast today as well. So
long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited.
Oh yeah, well, I'm excited. So let's just dive right in. What has been one of the biggest takeaways that you've seen from the marketing community here at Connect of what they're kind of noting or kind of seeing in the industry as a big takeaway?
Well, I consider myself a marketer in this, so I'll tell you what my takeaway is from a conference as amazing as this, which is just, wow, how amazing is it to not only get all of your users and prospects together in one place, but then to educate them and connect with them, but also to do everything else you need to do in your marketing team, like get testimonials, record podcasts like we're doing right now, like product feedback sessions, appointments. I mean, it just goes to show if you're gonna spend the time and the money to host a conference like this, you should get your bang for your buck. Same way we at Splash talk a lot about repurposing a great piece of content. You should be repurposing a great conference with everyone in the room. So great note to us as marketers.
100%. Like a big conference like this, a big event, should fuel your event-led growth strategy for the whole year. Like you should be able to get so much from your big event that you can just splice and put into different places and use it to fuel content for the entire year. That was a great takeaway. Yeah, very cool to see in person too.
For sure. And speaking of event-led growth, that's been a big topic across a lot of the sessions that we've seen today.
Yeah.
And from all the customers and prospects that approached our booth at Splash, at least, they're all throwing more events. They're like, hey, I need a field marketing solution. I'm doing more internal events. I'm going to do a user conference just like this. So it's really proof that events are on the rise and that customers need technology to keep up with them that's flexible enough for all of these different use cases. So a big theme that I'm seeing there.
Well, I was going to say too, when Perry was talking about, while we're on site, of course, we're here for Connect, but we're also filming testimonials. We're talking to customers, meeting customers for the first time. Yeah. And it's so interesting to see their kind of Cvent story. I was speaking with a customer today, and the suite of products that they use was honestly impressive because they do so many things. Yes, they have their own user conference, but they're also going to trade shows. They're also hosting happy hours and doing all these other things and utilizing all the products. And I think that's has also been really interesting as a first-time attendee this year, it being our first time at Connect. It's so interesting to see, of course, Connect is for Cvent customers, prospects, a chance to meet, the team behind Cvent, a chance to hear about the product, to hear about what's coming, but it's also a chance to use it. The app that you use to see your schedule, the app that you use to make appointments and ask questions during sessions, that's Cvent. Which is really crazy. It's like, what's the expression? You're drinking your own champagne, which I think is amazing. But then also we have the tech tours here, which is so cool to actually see it all in action, but also learn about it. So maybe you aren't using a certain feature at all. So you really get a chance to use it, to learn about it, on these tech tours, on how you could use it, what benefit it could bring to your program, and get a firsthand experience of it.
And I think even in that crazy, amazing product roadmap demo where we unveiled a feature that Forbes already wrote about in real time. I'm like, who's in the room?
Literally.
Who's in the room? Like, look what I just saw. But the feature that transcribes sessions and allows you to capture snapshots so that you're not, an attendee sitting in an audience scribbling in a notebook in a really dark room or taking
blurry screenshots.
I have many of those on my phone, and I'm so
and you never delete them, and then like a year later, you're like, what's literally
picture of?
I mean, so how ingenious is it to unveil a feature and then have attendees open their apps in real time and see it? I mean, that's just like that's great. That's some Steve Jobs presentation skills right there.
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been amazing, and I think kind of on like the tech tour and seeing our tech in person, a trend that like has been going around for a while that attendees are really craving are more experiential type experiences, because you can learn about a product from a blog or reading about it or like watching a demo, but like being here and having an immersive session where you're literally walking the floor with someone, seeing the product being used, experiencing it with other people around you, to like talk about it, chat through like, oh wow, that was so impactful. Like, it is the coolest thing and one of my favorite sessions, because it really is just immersive, experiential. You walk away with value of like, wow, that was so useful. I have so much that I want to bring back to my team. That was so cool how that happened and how they did that. And that's been really awesome to see things in action and how Cvent powers the entire event experience. We're new to Cvent, So like, how has it been seeing like the whole product suite here and all of the different features and functionalities as a product marketer, being like, oh my gosh, whoa, how has that been?
It's so insanely helpful.
I'm like, oh, that's how you use the app. This is how it works. But it's a great learning opportunity. We're going to take all those real world use cases and bring them back out to market. It's been awesome. And I've sat in on a lot of sessions where customers are just taking out their phones, but hopefully in the future doing something different, and just screenshotting it, because the Cvent product suite is so large, and even though they're in the tool every day and they're maybe using on arrival, they're sitting and learning about like 10 new on arrival features that they just had no idea existed, which is why it's so important. I mean, we had a Splash customer come to our booth, and he was like, let me just sit down with you and let's walk through how do you set up a virtual event. And we're like, yes, of course we should do this. And some of that stuff you can only get when you're face-to-face at an event.
It's just like the power of events. And it's so fun because it's all events people that are here learning more about events, which is just the best part.
And putting a face to a name is always very helpful.
Always helpful. And it makes sense why I know Dara's session on how she actually created or produced Connect was one of the most popular sessions. And like, selfishly, it's nice that we market to marketers, but people really wanted to know, how did you put something on like this? So between the tech tours and sessions like that.
People always want to have a little peek behind the curtain. You always want to tip in a trick. You always want to see how someone else in the industry is doing something, learning. I think this is an industry that you constantly have to learn. You constantly have to evolve. You constantly have to be doing the next best thing. And I think, this week, these past few days have been such a prime example of that. Everyone is so ready to learn, so ready to meet with people, so ready to hear about their programs, what they're doing, what works, what doesn't work. Connect creates such an environment for that.
Oh, yeah.
And
totally.
Equally as important as People talk about how leaving that blank space in your conferences and events is so important, which is basically just that time, downtime. I know at Connect we had a couple different meetups for marketers or people in higher education, different industries. I thought that was just such a brilliant idea. Like, give people really no pressure, just location where they can meet other like-minded individuals. You know, no strict content, nothing. Just know that your people are going to be in this one place. So I love that addition to the schedule.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what people crave when they come to an in-person experience an event. It's to like chat with people, to talk through strategies and like mind share, and it's to learn something new. And like those are like the two main reasons why people come to your events in general, are like, I want to mind share with people who know what I'm going through and like deal with it on a day-to-day basis, and I want to learn something new that I did not know before I went. And so I'm so glad that we've been doing that. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just been such an interesting few days. Like, I feel like I didn't really know what to expect. I kind of had an idea. It's just been so rewarding to be able to do all these different things, kind of going back to what you said at the beginning of, sure, going to sessions, but also doing testimonials with customers, getting these hands-on experiences, it's so fulfilling.
Okay, if there's one piece of like takeaway you can share with our marketers listening from throwing an event like this, or what we've learned this past week, what would that be?
My favorite one, which we talk about all the time, is just, and marketers know this already, but just preparation is everything. I mean, it takes time to plan events like this, but all of that time, it shows. Like, we talk about how attendees, they don't see anything wrong. They're cruising throughout the day, and that's because of all the preparation that went into making sure all of us knew exactly where to be and when. Make sure the app has all the information you could ever possibly need. The speakers know exactly what to say. The AV team is like the best team you could have. And it's like the big details and the small ones that often get overlooked. How you space out your sessions to allow for downtime versus when you decide you want to route everyone to a keynote, or maybe now's a good time to start happy hour. All those little decisions make for a great experience.
I would say to just lean into your network and your connections. I think it's been so cool. And this happens all the time when you go on site or you go to an in-person event, anything, and you just kind of have strangers coming together. You realize there are so many commonalities. And so really just utilize that network that you have. Ask for help, ask for tips, ask for whatever. There is someone there to give you something. And you are there to give something as well. You know, like there's that give-get is always going to be there in this industry. And so just lean into your communities, into your networks for sure.
Okay, last fun question for us to do today. If we could describe our experience at Connect for first time ever in one word, what would it be?
Fulfilling. It really was. You know, it's a long couple days, but what you get out of it is very fulfilling. Because it is such a range. You're learning something new about the industry. You're learning the smallest tip about how to use one product. It's such a range, but you really do feel fulfilled at the end of it all.
Mine is, I mean, I have to say, it's inspired. I feel really inspired, not only from the team that was responsible for putting this on and what went into it, but from all of the Cvent customers out there. I mean, Cvent's a big product, and to be able to really master certain pieces and want to do more events and come so that they can get better at their jobs and do more events and prove that events are working. I mean, being a marketer is a really hard job, and just so inspired by the group of people here today.
That's a good one, because we're here and I'm seeing all of this content that's being like the mind share, the give, the get, the people, like everyone talking, connecting, learning. And I'm like, there's so much that we just did in these last 3 days that I'm like, I have so many ideas and inspiration and feeling energized to like, let's take all of this and use it to just continue fueling the funnel and fueling different programs and activations. And I'm like, we need to know where everyone lives now, because I talked to like 20 people and that's the first question, where'd you come in from? And so I'm like, okay, you're in my bank in New York. You're coming to my next event that we're hosting there. Like, so much energy that I just feel like I cannot wait for like the next chapter, and to just continue learning more and helping more marketers and bringing more events to life.
Yeah, Nashville 2026.
I know, Nashville
Let's go.
2026. Woohoo! We'll do another debrief at the end of that one. That'd be great. Well, thank you, Perry. Thank you, Haley.
Thank you.
This was a blast and a half.
Yeah.
And until next time, everyone, take care.
Thank you for listening to Checked In. To get connected and learn more, visit splashthat.com. And don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.